Well, it's the Easter long weekend, and if you're planning on decorating eggs with the family, food expert Andrea Bucket and friend of the show is here to share how to use those Easter eggs and recipes while still having fun, but also eliminating the waste. Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning, guys.
Andrea, great to have you here, and look at this great spread of food you've got for us this morning, and really some creative ideas about, you know, not only decorating eggs, but then using what the eggs, of course, are providing for us. So what do you want to start with this morning? Which way are we moving here?
So let's talk about how we're going to dye the eggs with some vegetable scraps, okay? So you're going to hard cook your eggs, and what we're going to do is we're going to use some things that you have in your crisper. So we've got cabbage, we've got beets, and then we've got some turmeric. You can also use onion skins, and you're going to boil each ingredient for about 25 minutes until that water gets nice and colorful. So there's the turmeric going in there, the cabbage is boiling, and then you basically strain it out once it's boiled for about 30 minutes, and you're going to add a little bit of vinegar to it, and adding the vinegar just helps to set the color. So super easy. Pop in your hard-cooked eggs, cover them with the dye, and then let them sit for about 24 hours. Really easy to do. And then, of course, you can leave them out for a little bit if you want to leave them out for half an hour, or if you're having a, an Easter brunch or something to decorate the table. Now, the easiest thing, people always ask me about the best way to hard cook eggs. So eggs come from the farm to the grocery store in about 3 to 7 days, and they're super fresh. So I like to do my hard cooked eggs when they've been in your fridge for about a week, because they're really easy to peel afterwards, because there's a little air pocket in there.
Good hack.
So, so let's talk about how we're going to use them, because we don't want those to go to waste. You know, groceries are really expensive, as we said before.
Even eggs have really rocketed it up,
So we're going to make what's called a grabiche dressing with hard-cooked eggs. We've got some Dijon mustard, and we've got some egg yolks in there, and then some vinegar. This is a French dressing, vinegar for acidity. And then can I get you to just pour in a little bit of that olive oil? Yeah, we're going to emulsify.
Okay. Is that good? More?
A little bit more, more,
Oh,
there we go, perfect.
Love it.
Now, to flavor this up, we're going to add some hard-cooked eggs. Okay, those are going in there like that, which is a little bit different for a dressing, a pinch of salt, and then all of these little flavor bombs, capers. We've got some cornichons, and then last but not least, we have some...
Is that parsley?
Parsley, yeah, you got it. So we're gonna give that a stir. And it's nice and thick. Actually, add a little bit more of olive oil to that. Just dump it in, Perfect. So you want to make sure it's nice and...
It smells wonderful, too.
This smells good.
So we're going to pop that there. And then this goes over roasted potatoes.
It's like a fancy potato salad.
It is a fancy potato salad. But it's a good way to use up those hard-cooked eggs, especially if when you're peeling them, they may not peel perfectly. Do a nice little dressing with it.
Really dresses it up nicely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
Gosh,
okay, you've also got a really fantastic looking ramen bowl that you've created for us.
So you're just going to use store-bought ramen, and these are my boys' favorite things to make. They're really easy, really accessible. Make them according to package directions, and then crack that hard-cooked egg in half. You can cook them for about 5 to 6 minutes to get a jammy center, and then garnish it with your nori, some enoki mushrooms, and just it's fun and it's beautiful, right?
Yeah,
it really does look
I love the mushrooms because you know the last of us.
Exactly, the protein. There's about 7 grams of protein in an egg, so it's a good source of protein for sure. Last but not least.
Look at this. This is a killer sandwich. Can I do this?
I've been dying to use this egg slicer.
This is like a retro egg slicer.
How much pressure should I do?
A fair amount. I mean, it's only an egg. You don't have to use that much pressure.
That was so satisfying. I could do that all morning.
I know. So we're going to just pop those out, and we're going to put them right onto our Cobb salad. We've got avocado, we've got tomato, and then for me, you have to have blue cheese dressing. So we're going to top that. So get cracking.
Nice.
Eat it.
And the bacon. Can I have some?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, Nick's like...
I'm right in there for that. Yeah, that is... I'm going to get a bite of bacon for sure.
Yeah, nice and fresh.
Wow. Oh, the avocado fell out.
I kind of forced him into having a bite, but that's okay, right?
Is it good? Is it delicious?
I
twist your arm.
Really good.
Oh, I'm jealous. Oh my gosh, Andrea, thank you so much for coming in to share these recipes. And people can find them on your Instagram page?
Instagram, Andrea Bucket Cooks.
Andrea Bucket Cooks. Okay, happy long Easter weekend. Thank you so much, Andrea. Well, we are just a few days away from Easter, and Shauna Thomas, nutrition consultant, is here for Meal Prep Mondays to share some Easter and Passover inspired meals that we can enjoy for the festivities this weekend. Good morning, Shauna. Great to see you again.
So happy to be here.
I notice we have here, instead of hot cross buns, we have hot cross muffins.
Yes, hot cross muffins. So I know throughout the pandemic, we all baked, right? We all made bread, we all got into it, like everybody. But sometimes it's really time consuming, right? And one thing that I definitely learned is I'm terrible at making bread. So I love the idea of hot cross buns. I think it'd be really fun to make them, but it really takes a lot of time and it can be tricky, right? You have to let it rise and then, you know, punch it down, let it rise again.
Right.
So these are a great quick way if you want to make hot cross something. These are an awesome thing to do. So really easy recipe, a typical muffin recipe with, you know, we have a little bit of oil, butter, milk, all the typical stuff, eggs. We have raisins that I plumped up with a little bit of orange juice.
Yeah.
I use whole wheat flour to add a little bit of fiber. And then whatever icing you want to make, I made a little cream cheese icing, sweetened with honey, and just do the little crosses on top and you're good to go. Nice and easy, simple, and so delicious. And it still makes your house smell like a hot cross bun would, right? All that cinnamon, the clove, the nutmeg,
cloves.
all that delicious stuff. That's going to make your house smell amazing, and then you still get, you know, to have something baked, right?
Absolutely. I agree with you. Bread is not an easy endeavor for a beginner baker.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I love this, and it smells delicious. Can't wait to eat one later on.
You will, yeah.
I won't gorge on it right now.
now.
Okay, next up, I love the look of this as well. And this is the asparagus and cottage cheese tart, which you say is super easy to make.
So easy to make. So I start with a puff pastry base. So store-bought puff pastry, just roll it out. And cottage cheese is having a bit of a moment right now, right? Everybody's like, it is. People are mixing it in with their eggs and they're having like a little bit more protein on their salads and things like that. So what I did is I blended the cottage cheese with some egg, Parmesan cheese, a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's about it. And then I just spread it over top. So an asparagus cheese tart, if you look it up or you have a recipe for one, usually has like 2 cups of just cheese, which I mean is absolutely delicious, but it's a lot. So this still gives you that cheesy, salty flavor. And then you just put asparagus on top, nice thin asparagus, and you bake it in the oven for about half an hour, 375. And then you can top it with lemon, more cheese, or you can do what I did, which is a bit of a balsamic glaze, some chili peppers, whatever you really like. But it's so pretty and it's really easy to make.
Oh, wow. It looks delicious too. And you were talking about sprinkling some red onions on that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this could be a recipe as well that you take to someone's house.
Absolutely.
Like, it's very shareable.
It can be a brunch, it can be a side dish, it can be a little appetizer, whatever you want it to be. Really, really nice and simple. And once we get our Ontario asparagus too, it's going to be that much more fresh and wonderful. So looking forward to that.
Awesome recipe. And then finally, Passover inspired. This is a flourless coconut cake. Tell us about this one.
Yes, so a classic Passover dessert is like macaroons, maybe dipped in chocolate. There's no flour, no dairy. And so that's what I went with this cake. I was trying to come up with a recipe that, you know, would be really nice for Easter and Passover. So there's only 5 ingredients in here.
No way.
Chocolate chips, coconut oil, coconut sugar, eggs, and cocoa powder. That is it. Super, super simple, really easy. And now I understand that coconut oil, coconut sugar can be a little bit expensive. So if we're talking about budget friendly, you can just use butter and sugar, whatever you have. Not that butter's that cheap right now, but you know, whatever you have in your fridge and in your pantry. And then what I did to make it a little more fancy, because you can just serve it like that. It's rich and fudgy and delicious.
But I love the white poof.
Yeah.
That's what makes it cool.
And to keep it dairy-free, I just whipped up some coconut cream and then topped it with toasted coconut. So it has just those amazing coconut chocolatey flavors.
Wow. Coconut cream, is that something you buy in like a jug or like what? How do you get that?
It can come in a Tetra Pak, or you can buy a can of coconut milk, put it in the fridge overnight, and it will separate. The cream will come to the top, and you just scoop that out, whip it up, and you're good to go.
No way.
Yeah, so
I
easy.
learned something awesome. Well, Shauna, these all look amazing. Hot cross muffins, this tart, this asparagus tart, and the flourless cake. Where can we get the recipes? Once again, remind us.
Everything will be on my Instagram account, which is Shauna Thomas Nutrition, and also on Facebook, same name, Shauna Thomas Nutrition. They will all be there this week, so keep an eye out for them.
Okay, Shauna Thomas, nutrition consultant. Of course, Bill is joining us now. He's going to be our taste tester. I'm going to try one of these buns.
Thomas
Do you want one of these? Okay.
I'm so hungry at
I
this
know I
point.
have no knife for this one, but muffins.
No.
I don't
Delicious.
need a
Thank
knife.
you,
I eat with my
Shauna.
hands.
Yeah, there you go.
Just about
There you
everything.
go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Enjoy. Happy long weekend.
Carbs.
CP24 Breakfast Meal Prep Mondays are brought to you by Healthy Planet Kitchen. Live life healthy.